Hi, I'm Sofía Majó. In this video, I went to Sarah Hidden Art Exposition and Christmas Museum, both in Tampere, and I choose this because I have previous studies in art, mostly in classic art in high school, and during my years of college, I also picked some art courses, so I feel very comfortable and interested in this topic. And of course, I'm gonna put my voice over some clips I record there, and I'm gonna talk about it in a culture point of view with the concept that we learn in this course. So I hope you like it, and let's go. The first place that I went, it was the Christmas Museum, where there are figures and scenes of a typical Finnish family during Christmas. Here I saw perfectly, not just in the scenes but also in the photos, that family is always in all cultures represented in similar ways, husband and wife with the children in the middle. I consider the representation of family one of the biggest, if not the biggest, topic of representation in all cultures. Also, in a very similar way, it's clear here that the intertextuality between all the cultures started with God in one side, Jesus in the center, and Maria in the other side. The intertextuality between all cultures and texts is visible perfectly in the family representation. Now it's true that this representation is changing in some cultures and countries with a huge diversity of family structure that we can see nowadays. But the heterosexual and biparental representation still be the dominant one. Next, I went to Sarah Hidden Art Museum, Libul Exposition. Libul is a Korean artist really well recognized. Her art is described as provocative that cross disciplines and explore themes of beauty, corruption, utopian modernity, rise and fall of progressive projects to reinvent the world, and of course Korean history. The first piece is called Titan. Here she wanted to represent the mix between mythology and technology, which has always been surrounded by emotions of fear, mortality, and desires to live forever, representing the fight and union between divine and human. Which this come the need of know how to difference which parts are human and which parts are not. The need of know what is made of human. And that reminds me of the feeling that we had during several presentations in which we saw a lot of EA images and we tried to get which ones were made by humans and which ones were made with the intelligence artificial. Continue with the encounter of technology and humans. This piece is part of a series and figures have human health machines, a series of shivers. They especially pay attention in woman's body and how if this turn out bad, you can create a monster. It also represents the human desire to be better and improve ourselves. Deceivers. She explores the relations with gender and technology. During several presentations, we talk about Photoshop for making more desirable, more perfect the woman's body in advertisement, film, photography, etc. And this desire is the same one of being better that moved the creation of cyborgs. The representation and interpretation of woman's body has a huge impact in our lives and the creation of our realities. Next, we have the Verdus series, a mix of past memories and what have been lost. She explored and represents the subconscious and the human mind with a lot of mix of layers and colors. The strong meaning of each color is essential here. For every culture, colors have similar and very different meanings and recall to different feelings, emotions, and memories, or even voices and people. Color, feelings, and memory are always connected, and we are capable of putting that in art and in visuals thanks to the study of visual literacy. Beware the swiftness of things. Here she describes the impossibility of grand narratives in the modern world. In other words, the impossibility of creation of complex visual materials that require visual literacy skills. We can see futuristic towers made of crystal that are transparent, which highlight the vulnerability that came with being human. It represents the ideal society. To understand this is key having visual literacy skills, as it's full of interpretation, and to being able to see a difference between the connotative and denotative meanings. She describes an ideal society where is the possibility of creating big narratives, where technology have changed how people think and learn, with the possibility of more and more nonlinear way of thinking, which lead to the complexity to create big narratives. Libu is a visual literate person. She is both a critical consumer of visual media and a competent contributor to a body of shared knowledge and culture. This last piece is the most moving for me. It's called Tong and it's about one of the most tragic episodes on the actual Korean history. In 2014 it happened that one of the regular ferries sank and around 3,000 people died. Most of them were high school students that were told by the captain, who were later convicted for murder, to stay and not move. This history is an open wound in Korean society, and a lot of artists had used their influence to send a critique on Korean society and hierarchy. Other artists like BTS wrote songs about it, which show the repercussion on society of visuals, materials, and culture with the capability of showing stories. Here is clear how the interpretation changes depending if you know the context, if you are Korean or not, and how important it is to have necessary visual literacy skill for analyze the contextual, the cultural, ethical, and intellectual components of the production. Well, this is all. I hope you really enjoy this. I loved going to these two different places, museums, and because I've learned a lot and I make a lot of reflections. Really enjoying explaining all of this and put a little bit of my opinion and my love for art in this. So that's all. I hope you enjoy it and thank you so much.